You're listening to TGI Sports Talk with your host, Keith Angle, on Northeast Streaming Sports.
Good morning, guys. Keith Angle for TGI Sports Talk. How are you today on this beautiful Friday morning? We're starting just a few minutes early because our interview will go a little long this morning. So hopefully we'll do our little preamble, then we'll get into the interview with the legendary Louis Tiant, who I'll talk about in a second. First of all, I want to thank all the groups that allow me to share this to them. As always, we got some new groups that I've added that Louis played for, Louis Tiant. They played with the Indians, the Twins, the Red Sox, the Yankees, the Angels, and finished up with the Pirates, I believe, or vice versa. I think he finished up with the Angels. Anyway, I want to thank all those groups that will let me share this today, so thank you very much for that. I want to thank my guest from last week, Doug Flynn, former New York Met, former Red, former Expo and Ranger, Tiger. Great interview last week. Enjoyed my conversation with Doug. Great reception for that as well. Good morning to Dave Guyette. Good morning to Carlos. Yes, the Red Sox are struggling. We're not going to get into that today, though. So thank you to Doug Flynn. And guys, remember Sunday's show? We'll have our live stream of consciousness. We'll talk about everything important, at least to me, in the world of sports. And you show up with your comments and your topics, and we'll talk about them. I'll have live that day Mark Mancini from Mancini Sports. So that'll be interesting. Mark was on with us a few weeks back, and we had a great conversation. He'll be on with us at the 10:30 mark, 10:30 Eastern time. So, and also, by the way, coming soon, the TGI Sports Talk College Football Huddle will be going live starting Wednesday, August 11th at 7 p.m. We're going to talk about all the topics in the world of college football. There's no lack of them. So today's guest, guys, I recorded this interview on Monday night with Louis Tiant. He had some issues with his video, so it'll be an audio video. I've got a picture of Louis up. So we had a few challenges there, but Louis Tiant is a legendary pitcher. In my mind, he should be in the Hall of Fame. As I said before, he started out with the Indians after growing up in Cuba. His father was a great player in Cuba. We'll talk a little bit about that with Louis. He talks a lot about his parents in this interview. But Louis also played after some injuries, had a rebirth with the Boston Red Sox in the 70s, pitched great, pitching at it. Legendary, in my mind, the best World Series, at least in my lifetime, the 1975 Red Sox and Reds. He later pitched with the Yankees, surprisingly enough, after pitching with the Red Sox, which we'll talk about. And also, he finished up his career with the Pirates and the Angels. So with no further ado, I'm going to get into the interview. And it goes about an hour and 3 minutes, and I'll be back to wrap up the show. Again, we did record this on Monday evening, so let me know if you see any problems as we do this. And we're going to talk to Louis Tiant, the immortal and legendary pitcher from the Boston Red Sox and more right now. Good morning again, everybody. As I said, my guest this morning is the legendary Louis Tiant, great pitcher with the Boston Red Sox, started with the Indians, pitched with the Twins for a bit. We best know him as a Red Sox, as a Yankee fan. There was a time where Louis wasn't my favorite rival, but he was one of my but I want to go backwards in your. You don't know either?
I don't know either.
His. I had myself on mute. Oh. All right, guys. Hopefully you're still with me and you haven't jumped off board, so bear with me while we get this going. I had myself on mute. Oh. Now I'm also hearing myself. All right, guys. Hopefully you're still with me and you haven't jumped off board, so bear with me while we get this going. I had myself on mute. Oh. Now I'm also hearing myself. All right, guys. Hopefully you're still with me and you haven't jumped off board, so bear with me while we get this going. I had myself on mute. Oh. Now I'm also hearing myself. All right, guys. Hopefully you're still with me and you haven't jumped off board, so bear with me while we get this going. I had myself on mute. Oh, I'm also hearing myself. All right, guys. Hopefully you're still with me and you haven't jumped off board, so bear with me while we get this going. I had myself on mute. Oh, I'm also hearing. All right, I think I figured it out. Good grief. Oh, my God, guys. Some days it just sucks to be me, you know? I mean, good man. Oh, man, this should not be that hard. Let's see if I can get into the right. Nope. Having trouble finding where I need to be, guys. I had this all set up, and then my computer crashed this morning. How you guys doing? Somebody tell a story. Somebody tell a funny story while we're doing this here. I'm having trouble finding my damn interview. Got it. Man, oh man, it shouldn't be that hard. Should not be this hard. All right, Louis Tiant coming up here in just a second, guys. I really do promise. Give this another go. All right, get ready. Get ready for Louis Tiant. We're going to try one more time. Mac's never going to get me today, right? TGI Sports Talk today. How are you?
Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Appreciate it. Give me an opportunity to be in your show, okay?
Oh, I appreciate you coming on, Louis.
I want to say hi to everybody, the fans, the people, you know, pulling for me when I used to play. I want to say thank you to them.
Well, there was a lot of those, and they're still around. We get a lot, you know, I have a lot of guys from your year on, and you might be the biggest one yet, to be honest with you, because if there's a guy in my mind who belongs in a Hall of Fame that's not there, there's several, but you're one of them. I mean, I don't know how the Baseball Hall of Fame doesn't have Louis Tiant on it, in it, and we can touch on that in a little bit, but I want to go backwards in your. You don't know either?
I don't know either.
His.
I don't know.
We need to get we need to get you a white knight on the Veterans Committee there to get you in.
Yeah, well, I mean, I can't say I don't want to complain anymore or do anything talking. The more you talking, the more you drowning.
Yeah, I know.
Just leave me alone. I got a lot of politicians there, a lot of politics, parties. And what I say, I have to thank God they give me opportunity to do what I did, and making a name for myself and my family and teaching that many years. And I tell you the truth, I do more things than I never thought I was going to do in my life. Because I don't really have any complaint about it. And what I say, my Hall of Fame is my family.
Well, that's
everybody know, like you know, everybody know baseball. No, I should be in the Hall of Fame. But what are you going to do?
That's a good way to look at it, though. That's a good way to look at it. Is your family is your Hall of Fame. I could tell you from dealing with your son Daniel to get you on the show today that I think you've raised some pretty good boys. If he's any indication of the rest of your family, I think you've done a pretty good job.
Yeah. He been doing my work, all the working for me, all the stuff. He been doing a good job.
He was a good guy. He reached out to me after quite a while. He apologized, and he doesn't need to apologize to me. So. Louis, let's get into your story. Obviously, it's a tremendous story, coming from Cuba and growing up there, and your father being a bit of a legend. If I remember right, there was a time, maybe it's still that way, that if you ask somebody about Louis Tiant in Cuba, they didn't know how to respond. Is that true?
Yeah. No, but when I come back after 46 years, they still remember me. I go to the Central Park and they put me in the middle of people. When they do my documentary.
Right.
And, the other people know me. They're talking about who is the best Cuban pitcher. One say Duque, brother, a few other guys. And then this guy, I remember, the blue teacher. He said, "Man, the best Cuban pitcher in the Bay League, Luis Tiant." And that's good. That's a good feeling. People still remember you.
It should be. It should be a good feeling for you. Yeah, I mean, did you feel it came in your genes? Your dad was a great pitcher in Cuba, kind of a legendary pitcher in his own way.
He's pitching 25 years in the Negro League, New York, Cuba. And I used to play in winter ball, and then some of the coaches, they used to play with my father. And they used to tell me, "No, you're good, but your father was better than you." That's what they used to tell me all the time. No, that's good. That's a good thing. I really quite happy with it.
What did he tell you? Did he tell you were better than him or not?
No. He even wanted me to play baseball. He wanted me to go to school. That's what he wanted. And because of my mother fight with him, let it play. That's what he wanted to do. Let it play. And then we have the juvenile World Series in Mexico in 1967, and he don't wanted me to go. My mother had to fight with him, so he let me go. And then my mother tell him, that don't happen all the time. They picking him to go there and let it go. Then he found out. Finally, he said, "Okay." Then what happened? I pitched him in the juvenile World Series, and then I come back to Cuba. And his friends start telling him, "You better go see your kid. He's good." And he come and see a few games, And then after that, he started talking to me about pitching, how holding the ball and stuff like that. And, but I guess, you being a son of the ball player, and they tell you they don't want you to play, they want you to go to school. And it was hard for me to understand that. And then what happened when I come here in 1962, I was in Charleston, West Virginia. And then in 63, I played in Burlington, North Carolina. I see the segregation, all the problem with African American, Latino. Yeah, and the people were rough enough.
Yeah, that must have been a tough
They
time being in the South in the early 60s.
were tough years, it was
Yeah.
tough years. Really. I started understanding why he don't want me to quit. That's why he go through. He don't want me to go through that. Eventually he did it. And I started playing, and then I signed it from juvenile to professional. I go to Mexico City, the Tiger,
Mm-hmm.
and I play there. And then in the third year, I go play Puerto Rico, winter ball.
Was there
Cleveland, I think.
was there ever a time, Louis, when you were in the minors, playing in the South and dealing with the things you had to deal with day in and day out, that you thought about forgetting about baseball in the U.S.?
Yeah, first I can come back to Cuba.
Yeah. Well,
And second, I'm telling you, about a month. Every time we finish the game, I go to my room, I cry every night for about a month. And then he coming one day, I say, you know what? It's not making no difference. I cry, whatever. People keep calling you names, who sense to you. What I'm gonna have to do is show the people, color your skin, no have nothing to do, or what you can do. And then what happened? The next time I pitch, I throw no hit no run. And then after that, I put in everybody in my pocket. Everybody come and see me every time I pitch. And then the second game after that, I throw no hit no run for 8 and 2/3. And Joe Morgan hit a blooper over first base, breaking my 2 no hit no run in the room. After that, they don't bother me no more, but they bother the other players for the other team.
yeah.
Then when we go in the row, forget it. Oh, but that's what it was. And what's a good thing, but that's what it was.
Yeah, it was
my father going through the playing, all the Negro players going through that, all the players that play with them, they're going through, even, my hero, Jackie Robinson, I sit down and I'm thinking about it. I say, I see the movie, what he go through.
Mm-hmm.
I say, shit, that he going through that, I can go back. I have to do the same thing what he did. Go back and show and play and forget about it. Just do my job. And that's what I did. And it really helped me watching the movie and see what he had to go through. It was a present time.
Yeah.
That's what it was. And, like I said, it was a nice change to happen to us or anybody. But that's what it was in those times. So eventually, like I said, thank you God, I keep working, I keep playing. Like I said, I never was afraid anything. I know what I want to do and what my dreams. Someday play in the big league. And I got my chance, my opportunity in life. And I don't want to miss them out. And then I go to Portland in 63, 64. Going to Portland, and then on July 17, 64, they called me up to Cleveland. And I started my first year in the major league. At that point on, I played almost 19 years.
You played
good, but
it takes some special fortitude and inspiration to continue that journey. So that's very that's a great piece of your story. When you get to Cleveland, when you get to Cleveland, Louis, I mean, what's it like now? You're a major leaguer, and you're pitching pretty well. You kind of float between the bullpen and starting. How was it? How was your indoctrination to the major leagues? You weren't playing on great teams in Cleveland, but you were in the major leagues. What was that like for you?
Yeah, it was great. That's the way you one of your friends. when you was a kid, that's what you want to do. Finally, I make it. And I pitched in my first game against the Yankees in New York, and I shut him out 3-0. I took out 11. The record, what's saying, Cy Young.
Mm-hmm.
The first pitch, the first big league took out 11 and throw shut out. Only 2 people do that in baseball. I started with the right foot, and that helped me a lot. Win the first game, and I'm pitching again waiting for. And it was, really my biggest push in my life because, hey, I'm here now. I have to do what I have to do,
Yeah.
What I'm coming here for. And then that year I win 10 and 4. And I win 15 and 1 in AAA because that year I win 25 and 5.
That's a pretty good record, even then.
Oh yeah. But baseball, it was hard in the beginning. It ain't no easy to play. Like people sometimes thinking, "Oh, you're a player, you can do that." You have to have a little luck. You need somebody to raising their hand and help you in ways here and there. In those years, it's not like now. You got all the coaches and teaching you, and then we don't have any of that.
Right.
Because the no players, they don't want you taking the job. They're not missing around too much with you, And, that's the way it was. I think.
Who were the guys that you hung with on that team and were kind of, or people that were influential as you got to the big leagues and really helped move your career forward from that point?
Number 1 is Rocky Colavito. He's my brother. Telling you, he and me, we still talk. We see each other. We're calling each other all the time. His family, my family, we get along great. The kids. They played together, they grew up together, And Rocky was one of my bigger influences when I come into the team. So he got me in his wing and telling me what to do, how to behave, how to do things, saving my money, do this, do that, And I never forget it. And I know he wanted me, he liked me, he wanted me to do good. And we come in great friends, like a brother, and we talked. I know I talked to him not too long ago, maybe about 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah?
We talking maybe twice a month, maybe sometimes every week. He call me or I call him, And he was great to me. He really was like my brother.
You're telling me he's got to be on TGI Sports Talk now that you've been here, Louis.
What's that?
You got to tell him he needs to be on TGI Sports Talk now that you've been on the show.
Yeah.
Rocky was a big popular. He was a star and he was a popular player in Cleveland. So he's a good guy to hook your star to.
Good man, good human being. I'm telling you. He go just play. He don't buy nobody. He mind his own business. Play hard. He can hit too.
What? So you obviously your career is on an upward path, obviously, and you have a great year, couple of great years, I guess, in Cleveland. Most especially 1968, you make the All-Star game. You're 5th in the MVP voting. But your career. I win the ERA 1.60. And I win 21 games and losing 9. And I don't win the Cy Young because my club win 31 games that year. Yeah, how many games you complete?
I complete. I think I started 32 games. I think I finished 27.
You know what, guys won't have. They could play 4 careers today and they wouldn't complete that many games.
No, but you know what? It can change. And I don't point the finger to the players, especially pitching. I'm watching pitching, really made me upset. But the problem is the system.
Yeah.
They don't know what, everything is computer, this and that. And computer not going to make you play. You have to do your own. You have to using your ability. You have to use your brains. That's what God gives you brains. You have to learn how pitching, how to get somebody out.
Yeah.
The computer can play you anything they want because you know how they control to throw the ball consistently close to where you want it. You're not going to be successful. And that's the problem with a lot of these guys. You look in the ERA now, 5 points, 7 points, 6 points, and so that's crazy. I don't see. I don't get it. And then 100 pitch, then they throw 100 pitch, and they check the other thing out, and they still take him out because 100 pitch.
Yeah.
You're gonna you throw 10 more pitches, you're gonna hit one. That's crazy. I don't understand this part.
And they make the guys who make the most money don't even pitch the most important part of the game, right?
Yeah, but to me that's a big problem. You can take in the pitch out of there. When you're in a tough situation, you put yourself in tough situation. They should leave you there. That's the way you're gonna learn how to compete. But when every time you get a man on first or second, you're taking you out. How are you gonna learn how to compete? Especially young guys. You're taking the confidence away from them. And every time they go into pitch, that's the first thing they think. Because they're a walking guy or base hit, they're gonna be out. That's the first thing they do in the game.
Yeah.
And that's not good. You have to give it confidence. I know one thing. It's working a little bit of both sides. And I think the pitchers, I had to give it that confidence to the manager. That's what I did over there. I go over there and fight. I don't care if I Lord, I get out. Maybe one wrong, maybe nothing. And you have to give it that confidence to the manager. They can leave you in there no matter the situation they can. And a lot of these guys don't do that because they're not used to do that. They're not living in there. That's hard. That's hard for the pitchers to do that. Then the computer, I never understand the computer. Computer is good for business and stuff like that, but not for business.
Yeah.
God give you the brain, you have to use it. That's the one thing I did all my life, using my brain and learning how to get somebody else. That's what people ask me, who was your toughest hitter? I said, nobody. Because I know they're going to hit me. Somebody's going to hit you. But I have to get him out. And I have to find the way to get him out, or the good way or the bad way. I hit him, or I get him out of the home plate, do something. But now, they're not. You see that they go and look in the hat. And then the other one, they're picking the pack. They're looking like they play horses.
Everybody, the outfielders are looking in their hat to see where they're supposed to go play, right?
They'll fit it too. You're going to tell me you don't know how to play those guys or how to pitch into those guys when you already facing? You're facing those guys before. Facing somebody, okay, maybe. But in the clubhouse before the game, you sit down with the pitching coach and the catcher. Somebody know how to pitch in the game. What ball can be more effective to get them out and stuff like that. But the problem is they don't have any control to do that. They don't have it. And then you're watching the game every day. You look in the pitch. 2 ball no strike. 3 ball no strike. 3-2. Hey, all the time behind the hitter, you don't have no chance.
Right.
Okay. And then when they get ahead of the hitter, they're hanging breaking ball right in the middle of the plate, 500 feet. What are you doing? That's crazy to me. That's crazy. But that they're coming what I said. They don't have any control, and they don't know how to pitch. Most of them, they don't know how to pitch. And you see the guy can pitch, they win. Look at the Dodgers pitch. They can pitch. Swatch, the one that threatened to from Washington to Milwaukee to the Dodgers. He can pitch. That's why he wins. That's why he's the first.
And
Wrong.
and they are looking to come out of the ball game after one hit or 100 pitches. That's why I like Garrett Cole for the Yankees, right? He's a bulldog and he doesn't want to come out of any game.
No, see, they get mad. They want to stay in the game. You see in the World Series last year with the guy, the pitcher, they take him out. One hit and then they take him out. Why? They check the other guys out. Why did they take him out? What happened when they losing the game? You're not taking your best pitcher out of the game. Well, who you gonna put in? The guy in the bullpen, they know better than him. I don't understand it. What is the idea this guy has? I don't understand. To me, it's not the baseball I play.
Yeah.
And I don't say I'm not trying to put a finger in anybody because that's what you're gonna see now. That's the kind of show you're not gonna see the baseball we play no more. And I can tell you too, the outfield, the regular guys, they're pretty good. And those guys making some plays. Some don't put out, but they're making a lot of good plays. And they hit, but the pitchers, forget about it. They got problems. And they don't learn how to pitch themselves to get somebody out. They're going to have problems. That's sad. It's sad because, I'm watching the game, I have to get out. I'm watching 1, 2 innings, and I see what they do. No. I can't get mad. My wife told me, you better go outside and smoke a cigar or go sit down, you can't walk, or you're going to get a heart attack. And I don't play no more. But I see what they do. No way. You can do what they do. No way. You're not like being a pitcher. I don't want to get hit all the time.
Right.
I have to get some better. That's that. When you go over there and you wait 5 days to go pitch, and then you go and pitch in 1 inning, 2 innings, and throw 85 pitches, and then you have to wait 5 more days, go back again, and maybe you go and do the same thing. When you're talking about 10 days, they might pitch in 4 innings. How they get in check? How they aren't going to get it strong? Don't wait. You need to throw. You need to pitch. That's how you better get a better control. Practice your pitches, where you need to practice. That's how you get better.
Well,
thinking better because you take more.
Well, you know a little bit about.
We used to pitch him every 4 days.
Yeah.
3 day rest and come back.
Yeah. Well, you know a little bit about the art of pitching, and you also know a little bit about strong arms and arm problems, because after your big year, you had a few years where you had some arm issues. What was it that actually went wrong with Louis Tiant's right arm after 1968?
68, something bothered me in my shoulder, in the back of my shoulder. And then they say there's a muscle get tight, because we don't have a great team. Really, the team we have, was the great. We had to make double play, score runs, and what follow here, and then I do that, and then they trade me in '69. I go to Minnesota. In '70, I started with Minnesota, and then I was 6-0, and I throw one pitch to a left-hander. He used to play for Milwaukee, and something pop. But pop, making a lot of noise. I thought somebody chewed me or something. But don't hurt me. It's funny. Don't hurt me. Pop, but don't hurt me. Then I throw 3 more pitches and then forget about it. I can break a glass. Put in a glass at 2 feet for me, I can break it. Then I call in the manager and tell him I can pitch no more. Then I get out, and then I come back, 3-day rest. I start warming up in the bullpen. I can't do it. Then that's what was on Sunday. Monday we're supposed to go to New York. Then I go to the doctor on the morning with Tony Oliva and me. We go to the doctor, and they're taking X-ray. And I sit down in the bed where they're taking the X-ray. Antonio and me sit down, we talk, and then they're looking at the x-rays and the big TV screen, whatever in the screen, and then I tell him, Tony, something wrong. Nah, you okay? Nothing wrong. Tony, I watch him. The doctors, they're not looking too. They're looking funny, the way he was talking and put the finger to the TV, the thing, and they said, something wrong, and they call me. And I'm going in the room, and he told me, look, you see that? You quite, like you get it like a pencil, you drop a line in my right shoulder, I'm off from the top to under the armpit. And then they say, well, you're lucky to not break it. Yes, they heal. When they're going to heal, then when they heal it, they're going to be the strongest bone you're going to have in your life. Now, they're going to break in there, maybe someplace up or not. And then I come back like 3 months after. And my arm was weak. And then I go play winter ball, Venezuela. And then the first 3 times I pitch, they beat shit out of me. And they start booing me, and it's already killing me. And then we play 11 o'clock on Sunday. So, and I'm supposed to pitch it that Sunday. When I go to the ballpark, I sit down my locker, and I said to myself, well, they're going to break it, or they're going to be okay. And so the problem with that, the doctor telling you you're okay, everything is healed, everything. I see the x-ray they're taking after that. Every 2 weeks they're taking x-ray, both sides. And see, and they're healing perfect. You even notice. Nothing break, nothing healed. And, but the problem was mentally hard. That's what people don't understand. You can be physical, you can be okay, but mentally, not. Then every time I'm going to throw a ball or pitch, my little finger hurt, I hold him back.
Mm-hmm.
And I hit the ball right in the middle of the plate. The toe hurt. You do the same thing, And then that day I said, are they going to break it? Or I'm going to be okay? I'm going to be okay. And I go over there, bam, I throw no hino. Because the team, I was there for 11 years. I was going to play there for the same team for 11 years, per year. And they not take me because they found out I was hurt. They don't want to take me. And then La Guaira, another team, take me. And go back and throw no hino room against them. That was the best thing that happened to me in baseball. And then from that point on, they bothered me.
Well, you get to Boston. You get to Boston, and after a little bit of a rocky start, you really catch on. I mean, in between though, did you ever have? You talked about the struggles and the mental part of it. Was there ever a time you thought you wanted to give up?
Yeah, no. I never give up. Never give. I have a strong mind. Like I said, I come in to the United States to play baseball, to fulfill my dream. They give me that opportunity, and I can't throw away. You can do that. You can miss me. I want to play baseball. I don't care about anything else. I want to play baseball. And I said, no, I'm going to fight. Then when I come into Boston in 71, the problem was they put me in the bullpen.
Mm-hmm.
I know the bullpen pitch. I was starting all my life. Then I think I win 1, losing 7, something like that. And then Eddie Castro was the manager.
Yeah.
And he wanted to keep me. And he telling the organization, no, I wanted him to stay here with me. He was good to me. He and his wife, to take care of my wife and my kids. So he was a great man. And I come back in 1972. And, Sonny Silver, he's supposed to pitch him. That night, we play against Cleveland. And he come out sick, cold, fever. And when I'm coming in, I see the ball in my locker. And the manager do that when you're going to pitch.
Right.
In those times, that's what I used to do. And I go look in the ball and say, I don't know what happened. And then he come about 5 minutes after he come in. He asked me, "Are you ready?" I said, "I'm ready all my life. Give me the ball." And I go and start in the game. And then in the 7th inning, I was beating 3-1. That's when I come out with my new pitch, turn around, look in the center field, look in the sky, and then release. And I do to the guy, got 2 strike no more. I do that to him, man. He never stay in the home plate. He move him away from home plate. He opened the eye big.
Had to be a little unnerving.
Oh yeah. Go right in the middle of the play, and then he asked pitch, "What is that?" That's a new pitch. No way. And he said, "Yeah, that's a new pitch." But even fish know I'm gonna do that. I never tell nobody. It just come into my mind. And that particular time, I said, I'm gonna try this and see how it works. And then after the guy go to the dugout, he come into the mound. Fish, get some fish catch. And he asked me, "What is that?" This is a new pitch, boy. He said, boy. And then I start doing it. I start practice, point release, where I can throw more strike, where I can control them better. And I win 172 games after.
Oh yeah, you won.
They really happy.
You won 23 out of 4 years there with the Red Sox. Amazingly, the year you don't win 20 games is the year you go to the World Series with the Red Sox, and probably the greatest World Series, at least in my lifetime.
Yes, sir. It was a good watch. Interesting.
And
a lot of tension here.
Yeah.
It was good. It was both sides. They hit and we hit. We score, they score. It was a good series.
It was a great series, and you were a bulldog in that series, as I remember. And you also had the added good fortune to be reunited with your parents after how many years?
Yes, sir.
14 years?
No,
17 years. Okay.
17.
Yeah.
I know my father in 17 years. And my mother coming to Mexico in 98.
Okay.
For 3 months, and then she come back. Then I let my father get out. And she come back. Then the both coming, thank you, Dr. Shapiro. They were my daughter family that year. And his son-in-law, Boris Chaiva, he was a judge. But I told him, and then he talked to Senator Brook. So Senator Brook used to go see him. And then they told him what I need to happen. And he said, "That can happen." Then he said, "Yeah, I'm going to try." And then he sent a letter, Senator Brook, he sent a letter with Senator McGovern. He passed away, I think, last year before.
Mm-hmm.
And they give it to Castro. Castro don't see the letter because I think the team he pulling for in Cuba, he lost that night. He went to next day. Then when he see me again, Castro tell him, "No, I know the father and I know the son. They can go, and not have to coming back." And then, in less than 15 days, they was in Mexico. And Mexico, they coming to Boston. And that was the greatest thing happened to me. I never thought I was going to see my mom and dad again. I get to meet the grandkids, my wife. It was a family reunion.
It had to be
great.
It had to be a proud moment for you to pitch in front of your dad.
Oh, yeah.
On the biggest stage in baseball, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He see me pitch and my mother. And it was the greatest moment in my life right there. I can't say. I never thought I was going to see him again because I don't know if he's going to let it come out. That's it. That's the one thing I ask God every day. Please let me see my parents before they die or I die. Let me see them because I know a lot of my friends, Cuban friends, mom and dad died. They never come back to Cuba. They can see. They don't know what day they die. I ask God, please don't let that happen to me.
Yeah.
Let me see that. And then you wanted me to go, take it. I don't care. But let me see them. And that happened. So, like in 20 days, less than a month, it wasn't what
Well, it was an awesome
to me.
subplot to that World Series for sure.
Yeah. To see the World Series in the pitch, and then what happened? So he laughing in the stand, and put the hands up and everything. You know, he enjoyed.
I remember the TV cameras found him a lot.
Yeah. My poor mother, you know, she used to tell me, you know, and they have a friend over there. They got a TV. He used to be a butcher. He know me a little kid. I used to play with that kid and everything. And he got a big TV, and he can pick in the game from the United States. And then, like almost every Saturday, I pitch. That's one only TV we have on Saturday. Okay. And they're going to send a song or somebody to my house in Cuba and telling my mother, father, your son going to pitch it tomorrow. Well, then she go over there. That's fine. And every time they put me in the TV, she go on the TV and trying to grab me, you know, touch me. You know, that's sad, no?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, it's great. It's sad. You know, she even knows she's going to see me again.
Yeah.
We're going to see it again. But she used to do that because when she come back here, she told me, you know, I used to put my hand in your face, kissing you and everything. And that's sad. Man.
Yeah.
So that happened, but that's, you know, they come in, they stay with me like a year and a half, 15 months, you know, in the past. One day and a half is different.
Oh, really?
My father died first.
Wow.
Yeah, my father died. When he was in the funeral, I don't want to take my mother because I know she been having a problem with her heart all the time. Yeah, high blood pressure. And I said, no, I don't want to take her. Then I told him the doctor, my doctor. He said, no, you have to take it. Can't no, you have to take it to the funeral. And I take it to the funeral, and then Chico in right in the coffin. She's standing next to him and start talking to him. Talk. And she's talking about 25 minutes at least.
Mm-hmm.
And then she goes sit down where we was again the front the wall. My wife and my daughter and yeah. And then she come and sit down. Then we get closing the funeral and then we go home. And that day we're watching TV and she going up to the room. And then she sit down by the window looking at the traffic and the people. And then my wife would go every 10, 15 minutes, go check him out. And one of the time she go and she don't see him in the window. And then when she look in the floor, she was in the floor.
Mm-hmm.
So must have heart attack. We give him out to man. We have a tank of oxygen, everything, and then we call in the ambulance. And they're taken to the hospital. The hospital only about 5 blocks from my house. Then I park in my car, and I can see right out over there. I see the window, and the doctor working on her with the heating, and then the heating with the electric thing, the chuck thing, and then heating twice. And I see he checking the head, so bad. And I get out of there, I was crazy.
Yeah.
I can't believe that happened to me. But I have some idea because, the night my father died, I was in the hospital. I was in the sofa, and she was in the big chair down there. My father was in my left on the bed, and I'm watching TV. And then she go around, and she start talking to him. And I hear, I don't do anything, just chill, my skin. My father told my mother, yeah, I mean, that's the old lady. That's what they used to call him, his wife and
Yeah.
people in Cuba, Latin America. Yeah, I'm gonna go. You go with me or you stay? And I remember, the boys and my mother. No, I go with you. Don't worry about it. I even want to look. I just chill.
Yeah.
So, then we go home. I take it home when they close in the hospital. They didn't want to leave. He's gonna die tonight. I said, no, but you're gonna stay here. I don't want to stay. I don't want to see my father die like that. Then I take him home and 25 minutes. Well, we're right home and watching in the floor watching TV, and she was sit down on the couch, and the telephone ring, and the doctor from the hospital come. Father just died. Oh, I was bad. I was sad.
Well,
And,
the good thing is you got to spend that time with them.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not complaining. I'm quite lucky enough to do things that a lot of my friends can do.
Yeah.
And that let me do that. Let that happen for me. And for them too. See, they stay with them for 15 months. It wasn't no much bad. I go crazy, for about a year, 6 months. You can starve at me, you can feed me, I don't care. But then, I start thinking about it. I said, no, I have family. I have to take care of my family. I can't get sick, you know what I mean? I have to fight back. And that's what I did, fight back. And then I come back. Back where I was. Because my head was was trouble time. Trouble year. And that time was tough.
Well, you had to
That was before Christmas.
Go ahead, sorry.
That before Christmas. 14th of December. That's when I buried.
Yeah, that's never good when it happens around a holiday like that.
No, both at the same time.
Yeah.
I can see that a man die and the wife died maybe a year or 2, 5 years. Or vice versa. It's not that quick. A day and a half. It was hard. That's the way God wanted to happen. We can't do too much about it. At least they give me that opportunity to see him again, and they see me again.
That's the part you
got to be great.
That's the part you got to be thankful for, right? Because you still had a lot of your career ahead of you. You had to get back out there and pitch some great baseball, which you did. Which you did.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I win 20 games after that.
Yeah.
Twice. And when I go to the Yankees, 79.
Well, that's what I had to ask you about. So you have a great run in Boston, right? And the Yankees and the Red Sox obviously have a great rivalry through the years. What was it like? I remember being a Yankee fan thinking, Louis Tiant's coming to the Yankees? And I thought it was kind of cool. A lot of my friends thought, how do you bring a Red Sox in here? But what was it like coming to the Yankees?
Yeah, it was hard. It was hard for me because I never understand why they let me go.
The Red Sox.
That group of guys that have him in the front office, they don't know what's good. They don't care about nobody. And I was a free agent, and I told him I wanted 2 years. I ain't not telling how much money. I wanted 2-year contract, and they don't want to give it to me. And then I said, okay. And then George, I talked to George. My agent talked to George, and then I go to New York, and I sit down with George, and then George said, no, I want to sign you. But you better go back. I don't want no trouble. I don't want no trouble with Red Sox. You come back and see what you can do. Maybe they're taking you back over there. And what I did, I called Sullivan. It was the general manager. I told him. I said, look, I'm here with George. He wanted to sign me. So he told me to go back and talk to you guys. Since you guys want to sign me. It's not. I signed it right here, right now. And then he said, well, we can give you 2 years. We'll give you 1 year, and then you go to spring training, you have a good year. We'll give you another year. I said, no, you kidding? Well, I had the best pitch in the team. You know how many people come and see me when every time I pitch here and in every place I go. You're going to tell me I have to wait another year? That's bad.
Yeah.
I said, no, I don't think so. And he told me, whatever you go, good luck to you. I said, well, what is it? That's stupid. No. You told me to have a good luck to me. Why you not keep me there? And wish me the good luck in Boston, where I belong.
Yeah.
I live in there. I live in there when I go to New York. When I had to come in New York.
Well,
we can work through that. And then I said, okay. And then when I did it, I hang it, and I go and call my wife. And my wife, she told me, no, you do it's in your own. You do what you have to do. That's your problem. You go, you want to sign it, you want to come back. And I said, no, I'm going to come back and talk to George and see what he does.
Louis, was it in the back of your mind that going to the Yankees would really fry the Red Sox butts a little bit?
No. Inside me, I was a Red Sox.
Yeah.
So that's why I create my second career. But if I love me here, if I respect me, I love the city, I love the people. Why I have to go anywhere, New York or whatever. I don't care. But coming to that point, they don't want you, but you have to go get a job somewhere. And the thing they picked me on the free agent was New York. And that's what I go over there. And then there's no was the problem. I'm signing everything. Then when the season started, that was a more headache, more tension. And the way when we come back to Boston and play in Boston, I thought if I'm gonna boo me, I'm gonna do everything, coming in. You know what? I go to the bullpen and people stand up. When I come back from the bullpen, the dugout, people stand up like I was pitching for Boston.
Who's gonna boo Louis Tiant? You can't boo Louis Tiant.
Yeah, the people, the people were great to me, and they're pulling for me, and I beat it too. I beat him. I beat him too, and people clapping, everybody stand up. Even I beat the team, everybody stand up and clapping, and then calling my name, Louis, like I was teaching from Boston. That making then you realize and say, oh, that's a good feeling.
I really have to ask you today, of all days, because it struck me, and it didn't strike me till today, that you came to the Yankees in 1979. I'm interviewing you on a very dark day in Yankee history. Today's the anniversary of Thurman Munson passing. That struck me today that I've got you on today. What was it like? Did you like Thurman? Did you get along with Thurman?
Yeah. It's my boy. It's my buddy.
Yeah.
Even when it was against, he never hit me.
No.
He's funny. I get him out all the time. I don't know how to get him out. He was a good hitter. I get him out all the time.
Great hitter.
One day, I hang his slider, and he hit the ball in the spring. He run the base, and he hollow and smile. I got you. I finally got you. I just love him. Then when I go to New York.
I was going to say, the Fisk-Munson rivalry was a thing of legend as well within the Red Sox-Yankee rivalry. Having pitched to both of them, if I put you on the spot, would you tell me which one you thought was better?
I never believe in the rival. I think the sport rival and media making that bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because every time the Red Sox come into Boston, the first time they put them in TV, Captain Fish guy Lupinella, Bill Lee get hurt, and then the other guy, and then to me, that you're signing people to looking for to fight, and then and I tell you the truth. I know here too many guys say I hate this guy.
Yeah.
Or when I go to New York, same way. I know few guys, Lupinella, he don't like a fish. And Tembo Monzo, he don't like a fish.
I know, yeah. I know.
And then that's what they fight. That's what we fight when he's got a home play, Pinella, and kicking fish and fish stop punching out. That's what the big fight.
Yeah.
And then look, this too. Well, you know what? What to me the more exciting thing and the thing I really like is both sides. When I go to in Boston, go over there, we just want to beat them. We play to the max. We try to beat them. And when I go to New York, same thing. They want to beat Boston no matter what.
Yeah.
And that's what the problem. Too much tension the game was. Any leader say boom, boom, we fight. Whatever thing, we fight. And, but I guess I never. I mean, I even like to use it that word. Hate people. I never use it that way. I think that you take it away out of the dictionary. You disliking somebody, I don't like that person, but hate what? For what? But you hate people. People don't do nothing to you. You just play. It's a game. No matter what uniform you play for your uniform. And what you do, that's what I use. That's the way I think. I want to beat that guy. I want to beat those things. I don't care about it. I don't care about this guy, the other guy. Man, I never thinking that way. I just want to do my job and finish my game when I can and try to win. And you give me that chance, I beat you.
Well, you did it a lot of times. You did it a lot of times, Louis. I got to tell you. You did it a lot of times.
I go after the third inning, and I feel that it's my game. I don't want to give my game to nobody. I want to stay there till I finish my game. If you don't get me in the first inning, after the third inning, it's my game. I'm going to do anything I can do to beat you. And that's the way it was. That's why I think most of the players I play, they all like me. I never have any problem with anybody. And then you can ask any player I play with them. They don't want to say nothing bad about me. So they're going to tell you, no, he wasn't fine. He go over there and pitch it. He's on the pitch. So this is what I did. I don't care what the other guys do. I get paid to play. And I'm going to play and I'm going to do my job the best way I can do.
Well, you did it great. You did it great for a lot of years, Louis. I got to tell you. And I got to ask you one more question before we get ready to wrap it up here.
Yeah.
So, when you retired in 1982, were you really 41 years old?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You were. Okay. Because there's always
40,
there's always
43.
What's that?
I was 42 in a year. Then 83. Then I come back in 82 with California. I go to Mexico. And then in 82, coming back with the Angels. California Angels. 82, I finished the season with them. Then in 83, I come back to Mexico.
Yeah.
And I quit. After this, I quit. And I was 43.
So that was
I get out of the big league.
That was your actual age. I mean, there's always a question, it seems, with some of the the Latin American players, whether they're actually that old.
People tell me all the time, they're thinking I know with my age. He's old. I tell you the truth. I couldn't win. I could be 4 years younger because of my birthday, my birth certificate. My birth certificate said 1944.
Well, there you go.
That's when they incriminated me. That's when they incriminated me. 1944, not 1940.
Mm-hmm.
Because I could be 4 years young if I want to. I showed my birthday certificate, 1944, not 40. Let's not do that. Go around the league, some players coming, oh no, he's old, he's that, you know, like Aparicio when he come in here, Luis Aparicio, he told him the player, I used to play with his father. You know, and that's what they start getting on me, my age. And I told him Peter Gamma, you know, Peter Gamma and me, we're coming good friends. And I tell him, Peter, let me ask you one thing. What is this thing? Every year I go and win 20 games. Next year I go to spring training. Oh, he 1 year to walk. I said, what is the difference? I said, he said, a lot of young guys here, they can't do what I do. The longer I do my job, what's the difference in the age? You know, age don't have nothing to do with what you can do. And after that, we're coming good friends. You know, we're coming good friends. He's the one that put me at Tiant.
Christ, Nolan Ryan was almost getting guys out when he was 50 for crying out loud.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Actually, it's my favorite baseball.
We got a good balance.
We
have a good balance. But he and me, we're pitching good. We fight, boy. Telling you, we have some good games.
Yeah.
So no room against me. And then one day we're pitching. I'm pitching 14 and 2/3. He pitched 11, and I'm losing the game in the 14th inning with 2 outs. Scramble to second base, going through the lane, and I'm losing the game. And then after that, I go 11 innings. Next time I pitch 11 innings, I win. And then after that, I win 11 in a row every 3 days. You know, that's what the difference. But we
14 innings in a game. You know, it takes Jordan Montgomery a month to pitch 14 in the third innings for crying out loud.
All this guy. I don't know.
Right?
I don't know. But they can do. The thing is, they don't let it do it.
I know.
That's the problem.
I know. I don't blame the players. It's management and it's the way they're babied all through their It's sad. We need Louis Tiant. I want the game back the way it used to be. You know, it's never gonna be, I know, but I want it the way it was when I grew up watching Louis Tiant.
It's different. It's different, completely different. And you're asking all the old guys in my time, even a little before me, and they'll tell you the same thing. They even want to see the game.
Yeah.
They don't want to watch the game no more. But they can't understand it. They can't understand the game.
Do you follow anybody specifically, Louis, these days?
No, I follow. I like it, Deborah. I like it, George. You know, I like Burger. They're good players.
Yeah.
You know, I like LeGrom. I like him. He can pitch.
Oh my!
He can pitch.
He is amazing.
Sexual. Yeah, the guy from Washington. They traded to the Dodgers.
Sure.
I like to see him pitching. So he knows how to pitch. And the other three they have it. The right hand and the two left hand, they're good. They know how to pitch. That's what they win. That's what they're success.
Yeah.
You know, you can see the difference. The way one guy pitch and the way the other guy pitch. Complete different. The other guys, they don't know what they are. They don't know what the strike zone is. They just throw the ball home. They don't have a good delivery.
Yeah.
They know, but that's what they do hurt all the time.
We care about the radar gun, and that's,
Yeah, they care how to throw hard. Yeah, but throw hard where?
Yeah, right.
You know, throw hard. They're telling me how many out you can get. I don't care if you flipping the ball or you throw the ball like you bowling. I don't care. You get somebody out. That's where you get paid.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure, Louis, I watched you in that 75 World Series pitch a couple games, at least one game, without your best stuff, and you gave it everything you had without your best stuff, right?
That's what you have to do. You know, when you go to World Series after you pitching that many innings, you know, your body get tired, your mind get tired.
Yeah.
You know, but that's why you fight all year to go to World Series. You can come and say, no, I'm tired. I don't want to do it. You have to fight. But that's where you work all year for that. No matter how you feel. I want to go in the mound. Yeah, and that's, you know what, it was my only World Series I played. Because I don't do, I never play again. You know, and you can lose in those opportunities in life.
Yeah.
God put into you, you have to take advantage of that. I'm trying to do the best you can. You know, I was lucky. I do pretty good in that way, but I could do bad too. You know, but thank God, I do good. You know, I pitched in 3 games, and it was good. I mean, that's the match. The World Series, the match. You know, everybody watching you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're trying to go over there and do the job, boy. I'm telling you, that's a good feeling. Good feeling.
Listen, Lou, you did good a lot more than you did bad. And I'll tell you what, I wish we had another hour to spend here because I could talk to you all night. I love talking about, those days. And
Maybe another time, you know, my song, Charlie. So we talk, no problem.
Excellent. We'll do something again because
I open.
I want to get into more stuff with you too. So I appreciate you coming on today, Louie, and sharing your stories. And listen, you had a great career, and I'm going to start a campaign to get you in the Hall of Fame along with Thurman Munson. How about that?
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
You have a great night, Louie.
Okay, you too, my friend. Take care.
We'll talk soon. Bye.
Pleasure, you and you. Take care. Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
All right, the great Louie Tiant after some technical difficulties there. Sorry, guys, about that. It was kind of a stream of consciousness conversation with Louie, kind of what I do myself. So I hope you enjoyed it. There was a lot more we could talk to Louie about, and I'll probably get him on for a part 2 and talk more about those Red Sox days and Yankee days. And, Louie has a great story to tell, and he was trying to tell it today. And, read the book and see the documentary Sons of Havana, which is awesome. It's an awesome read. It's an awesome book. And Louie had returned to Cuba to after many, many years. Oh my gosh, many years. And it was a very emotional time for him. So next week we will have, as Dave Guyette says, thank you, Dave. Next week we'll have Darrell Evans, former standout hitter with the Braves and the Giants and the Tigers. Was a great third baseman, first baseman, DH. Darrell has some big numbers, potentially borderline Hall of Fame numbers, at least when he retired. So I think, one of the great unsung players from yesteryear, and he played with a lot of great players. Darrell Evans came up, played with Henry Aaron. He played for Frank Robinson. He was managed by, as I said, Frank Robinson and Sparky Anderson and some other great managers, and he played on some great Tiger teams as well. Won a World Series there. So it's going to be fun talking to him. We'll be on Sunday with our live stream of consciousness, as I said. Mark Mancini from Mancini Sports will be joining me at 10:30. We'll be on at 9 a.m. Eastern time. Mark will join us at 10:30 Eastern time. And don't forget Wednesday night, 8/11, our debut college football huddle show. And we're looking forward to talking all things college football. Join us then. Join us Sunday. Join us whenever. Please